acknowledge that he learned Comey would be removed prior to him writing his memo.
That is Missouri Senator Clara McCaskill, who was in the room yesterday when Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein briefed senators, which at one point was supposed to be an off-the-record, closed-door meeting, but they all came out of the door, opened the door, and started talking to all. Aaron Katersky following the story. Good morning, Aaron.
Well, good morning. Rod Rosenstein appeared on Capitol Hill to brief all 100 senators on the president's controversial decision to fire FBI Director James Comey and share why he selected a special counsel to take over the investigation that Comey had been leading with the FBI into any Russian election meddling. And there were a couple of things that the senators mentioned. One, that Rosenstein pushed back on White House claims that Comey was fired because of his recommendation. He said he actually wrote the memo that was later used to justify Comey's firing after he knew that Comey was already going to be gone. Shortly after that briefing wrapped up, President Trump offered yet another explanation for the decision to fire Comey, blaming his most recent congressional testimony. But that most recent congressional testimony had nothing to do with, with Hillary Clinton's email, like Rosenstein's memo did. It had everything to do with the Russian investigation. So there's still no clarity as to why Comey was fired and when.
We know this because the senators left the room and ran right to the microphones.
Well, sure. I mean, we were waiting there, so they might as well chat with us. Isn't that what happens?
Lindsey,
are you suggesting that it's wrong to disclose to the public what went on?
No. But I thought it was a private sort of meeting. But
it was a private meeting for the senators. But and Rosenstein certainly didn't comment after. But the senators were free to, and they indicated that Rosenstein decided to appoint a special counsel to make sure that the American people were going to have confidence that this was going to be handled fairly and justly. And I think they wanted to get from Rosenstein a sense about that memo, because remember, it was used as justification to fire Comey. And then Rosenstein says, actually, I knew he was going to be fired before I even wrote the thing. So, we don't know specifically whether the president directed him to write it, whether it was just something he had been thinking about. Rosenstein apparently didn't elaborate, but it adds to the contradictory statements from the White House about the decision to fire Comey.
Aaron, also Lindsey Graham's comments are getting a lot of attention this morning, and I'm paraphrasing here, and you fill us in here, but he basically said this is now a criminal investigation?
Well, the thing that Rosenstein indicated is that this was moving in the direction of a criminal investigation, which I don't think is a surprise. Why else would the FBI really be investigating this? But I think hearing him say what he did, I think gave people some pause, and also to some of the senators meant that it was going to really shut down the congressional inquiries. They were going to take a back seat to the special prosecutor Robert Mueller, and for many that's a welcome development, because it'll create a pause and take it off the immediate headlines, perhaps, since all that work is now going to go on behind closed doors. I think Democrats were perhaps a little bit maybe they were regretting what they wished for, because they got the special prosecutor they were nearly unanimous in asking for, but in doing so, you can imagine many witnesses are now, if criminal charges are in the offing, are not going to be anxious to testify before Congress.
Never a dull moment around here. Aaron Katersky, thanks for checking in.
See you, McGraw.
All right, 624, Big 5.